You just restart it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we're live.
See you, Sean. See you too. Hey, how are you?
Okay.
Kathy Mandola joined. All right, we got
Mandalera.
some joining now.
Indeed.
Kathy, she's awesome. I think when it shut off, it may have started back. I don't know. But, all right, guys, we're going to start by putting the liquid clear on the canvas. The reason I'm using liquid clear is because we want to keep the very bright colors. We don't want to dull them out with the liquid white there. You note I did put a piece of paper over the horizon about 2/3 of the way down. Doesn't have to be perfect or something like that. And again, there's no wrong way to put on the liquid clear. I'm just scrubbing it in. I heard
We may need to wait a minute because there was, when it started over, when it flipped over, there's like 6 people watching now, 7. They had to
Okay.
re-add it. So.
Okay, guys, apparently my phone quit and you guys have had to rejoin.
They're still rejoining. There's just 7 on.
That's okay. They're still rejoining. I appreciate you coming back. It shows me I haven't bored you too bad yet. I am adding liquid clear to my painting. Very little, as you know. And we do all of the canvas. I said it before, but I will say it again. The reason I'm using liquid clear over liquid white is the fact that we don't want the colors to dull down. We want them to stay very vibrant. So it will do just that. And won't dull it down. I like the spinning method, getting it on here. If you get a hair on it, just scrape it off. Just a little bit over on this side. Right over the tape is fine. If it goes under the tape is good. We're going to put them there later anyway, probably. And I'm just going to get it where I have it. I'm going to have to tip the canvas here for a minute, kind of see where I have it, don't have it. Kathy, take your time. I'm not rushing. I'm going to try to go slow today the best that I can. You know, I don't paint slow, so pretty good. I see a couple spots right in here. And again, the reason we're doing... What happened?
Now, Kathy said broadcast interrupted.
Yeah, it was. It should be going right now, though. We have 7 people watching, though, and there was like 12 before.
I know. I don't know what it's doing.
I don't know why it restarted.
I don't either. Carrie, are we back on, guys? Do you know? Should make a comment, something?
Did it
that
stop
we're back
again?
on? I don't see the video
Mickey
here
says,
either.
It says live.
I've got such a delay on this one, I don't know. Can you put up on your tab, honey? See what's on your...
Sandy says, I can't see anything. Hi, Sean Mullins-Art.
Okay.
Hi, Sean. Debbie Boyd.
And they're not seeing anything? What's it doing here, honey? Is it showing it's on?
It says live and that there's 7 people.
Is it recording? Is it recording?
Yes.
Can everybody see it now? Can you respond something? Should be looking at a...
Kathy Beckman says yes.
Okay, good. I'm sorry, guys. Technical details or delays here. I don't know why. But hopefully it will work.
Glitch.
We got a glitch.
Nikki Littleton Klein said, did it stop again? But that was earlier, so we'll see.
Okay, I'm just going to kind of wait for everybody, see if everybody's seeing it.
It says it just keeps saying interrupted. It's back on. It just keeps saying interrupted. Huh. I don't know why. It says it's live.
I don't know, guys. Let me try to figure this out here. Give us a second. No video playing here. Is it just me? Let me end the watch party. End. Start another watch party right there. Let me back out.
It needs to be done on this. So.
She said it looks good.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have cut it off then.
Caroline Cullerton.
Caroline.
Hi, Sean.
It's strange how we have different messages because I'm not getting that. Yes.
I don't know what it's doing here, guys. I really don't.
It's not even on there.
It should just be playing on here, if I'm not mistaken.
Says Denise Riddle's
Just live.
watching.
It shows it live.
I have it, the photo, I have it pointed at your white canvas though. Is what the camera's on. So it should be that. It says live on here and it's giving me an opportunity to finish it and I don't want to. Yeah, it says it's been on for 6 minutes, so I don't know.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. We're just not seeing anything here on this side. Hey, Mary, Debbie Boyd. Do you guys see my canvas? Can any of you see that?
Caroline said, I hear you.
You hear me? Can you see the canvas though?
Gail Scott. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Gail.
Alright.
You guys able to see the canvas? It's just a white canvas with tape on it at this
Yes.
point? Yes?
I can, yes.
Okay, good. Somebody can. Hope everybody can. Okay, guys. Good.
everybody.
Thank you, Debbie. That's
Um,
good. I appreciate it.
Well,
So just to regroup a little bit, and
I'm
I'm just
getting-
going to go really slow. Barbara Harris joined. Thanks, Barbara. So what I have done, I have put liquid clear on my canvas. And I use liquid clear instead of liquid white because I want to keep the very vibrant
I
colors.
see, but it keeps stopping and starting. Why would it be doing that?
I don't know. The phone is?
Phone's not.
Okay, I don't know. Well, guys, we're just going to keep running with it and kind of see what it does and just try to keep us up to date if something stops or doesn't work or what. And so I'm going to take the brush I used with a liquid clear and I'm going to wipe it out. I just used a 1-inch brush. And I'm going to wipe it out the best that I can. And I'm going to pull through a little bit of the Prussian blue. Kathy, are you there? Can you see what I'm doing here? Are you still painting?
Yes, on the canvas, Kathy Beckman says. Denise Riddle says yes.
Okay, good, good.
Denise says it's working now.
Excellent. Okay, good. I'm taking a little bit, and I'm going to kind of hold this up here. I have black, blue, the purple, the browns, green, red, yellow, alizarin crimson, Indian yellow, green, and white are my colors tonight. So I'm just going to tap into the Prussian blue. You don't need a lot of this. I just kind of tap into it. And I'm going to do the Kevin Hill circle stroke. I think that's one of the best ways to really get the color on the canvas. So I'm just doing a circle stroke like this. It does not need a lot of paint up here. We're going to wipe it off anyway. That's something Kevin always teaches us. Paint is not your friend. So I'm just doing these circle strokes, getting it up here. I want it to go down about there. That's good. And I'll brush that all out here in a minute. But I'm also going to do the same thing on the bottom. So anything we do at the top, we're going to mimic at the bottom. Do remember, anytime you do water, hold the brush horizontal, just like this, and you go sideways, just like this across the bottom. Now this whole row of blue here is not going to show, but just to give you an example of how you would do it, everything stays horizontal, okay, like that. And here we have our water. So I'm going to wipe the brush out just a little. Guys, there's really such a delay here. I hope you guys are even watching me. I really can't tell kind of what it is because I still see a white canvas here that's playing back on my tablet, but I don't know. Helen, can you see it at all on the live?
No.
No?
Yes, got it.
Okay,
Kathy,
you got
go
it.
back to
Good.
the group and start it back there. Then I think
Okay, all right. All right,
some
so I'm
people
just
get in the pregame show.
kind of brushing over the blue, guys. Again, a lot of technical issues here. We're going to have to figure out why it's doing what it's doing here. Debbie Boyd, you can hear me good. Thank you. Barbara Harris joined us. Thank you. Again, I'm just going to brush it out like this. There we go. Then I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to wipe out the phthalo blue. Again, you're not going to get all of it. I spin my brush into my napkin here. Use this, and I'm going to go through the purple, diazonine purple, pretty color. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pull it down a little bit. I'm just going to tap into it. And I actually like the purple. If you look at the original painting, there's a lot of purple in it, up near the top and also down the water. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to put it up in here. I'm just going to keep swirling it, just like we're doing here, leaving dark areas, light areas, just like we did. I'm going to angle down just a little bit, and I'm going to bring it right back up into the blue. Okay, you really don't want any harsh lines there, and we'll work on them here in just a minute to make sure we don't have too many of them.
Can you just recap the steps for the people that missed
Sure, to recap the steps, what I've done, I've on the top of the canvas.
Use the clear.
Well, let me start with the canvas. I had a 16 by 20, and I put a tape over the horizon about 2/3 of the way down. Then I put a very small amount of liquid clear on the canvas. And then on the top, very top, I've used a little bit of Prussian blue. And now I'm using diazonine purple, and I'm swirling that in. Again, I like the swirl stroke over the X stroke. I think it's a little easier to do. It puts it out good. And we'll put it there.
Yeah.
I want a little bit more color with that, so I'm going to add a little bit more purple. Pardon me, I dropped my brush. And I'm adding a little bit more purple on this side over here.
Sorry,
Swirling it in.
Nikki's getting glitchy stuff.
What's that, huh?
You know, Nikki says her stopped again. I don't know why it's running.
Guys, I don't know why it's stopping like that. I
Well,
really don't.
some people are seeing it, some aren't. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just going to kind of swirl that in like that. And then I'll reload. Come down here to the bottom portion of the canvas. And I'm going to add the purple. A little more paint. Don't skimp on the paint, especially in the water. Always start on the sides, otherwise you end up with a big dark spot right in the middle. Always there to keep it, keep it straight down here. Kind of dark. I'm gonna add a little bit more purple. I like the way it looks. I'm just scrub it in a little bit here. Work that down into the blue. And again, we're just mimicking what's above, the blue and the purple that we have here. And getting it back straight again. I'm adding a little bit more purple to the water. I really like that. So I'm going to add a little bit more down here. Is everybody still seeing it that they can see?
Nikki's having well, she's like,
Nikki's what?
it says it's starting to stop on her, but she's the only one saying that.
Kathy, is everybody else? Can you hear me? Is everything working okay? Please tell me if it's not, or if we need to stop and change or re-explain or anything that we need to do to make this better.
Looks like Kathy may have just gotten back on. There's 10 people watching it.
Okay. And there we have our color there. We got a little bit of purple, some of the blue. Now right up here near the top, I'm trying to eliminate that harsh line there. So I'm just pushing a little hard with a circle stroke, blending it upward. And that will help eliminate the hard lines that are there. That looks better. All right, now I'm going to wipe my brush out. And I'm going to go into some red, because we know what happens when you put the yellow and the purple together, or blue, it's going to go green. We don't want green sky today. So I'm going to pull down, I'm going to take some of my very bright red, and I'm just going to pull it down. Pull that out. And again, on the brush with the purple, you're not going to get it all out. I've wiped most of it out. But I'm going to tap into some of the purple. Some of the red rather, bright red. Same thing. So I'm going to start right up in here. I'm going to do that circular stroke. Bring it up into the purple. By the way, I like the purple. I want to leave a lot of that, but I do want to get this red color in here. Now in class, I actually had the students doing this with a fan brush, and I think I'm going to change here. Because a fan brush is really a great way to do a sky. It's real easy, and it's just a good way to do it. You have a lot of control. So when I load the brush, I'm just going to pull it through like this, both sides, just like this.
Jeff wants to know if it's acrylics or oil.
This is oil paint, Jeff. This is
Yeah.
all oil paint. I usually always paint in oil. I'm just not a great acrylic painter like so many in our group. I just prefer the oils. I like the blendability. Everybody always says they take much longer to dry. That's very true. But I'm in no hurry. And I like the vibrant colors. I like everything about the oils compared to the acrylics. But to be honest, it's probably because I've never really tried them much. Miss Helen's tried to help me a little bit. And I just really, really prefer the oils to that. So, all right, I'm using the same circle stroke. I'm using a whole brush. As you can see, the whole brush, just kind of smushing it in. Just like this. I'm going to bring it up into the purple a little bit. Try to get rid of some of those harsh lines. You're still going to have some. I'm actually add a little bit of cloud shape up here in just a minute. Over on the left. But I'm just kind of working this in. Mickey, am I going, or Kathy, am I going too fast? I hope not. Hopefully I'm doing okay here. Again, guys, I can't really see your comments where I'm at. But hopefully everything's working out okay. Now, I'm going to go back into a little bit more of the red. And this time I'm going to make the cloud shapes that you saw up in the original painting there. So you want to pan to those and I'll kind of point to it. I'm talking about more up in here where you're able to see some of these clouds action. Now, one of the neatest things, or one of the things I found for students, is an easy way for them to make clouds, because a lot of times students really struggle with that. But what I have found, if I take your brush and if you hold it like this angle, perfectly perpendicular to the canvas, if you will smush your right corner, if you're left-handed, it'd be the opposite side, going the opposite way. But right-handed here, you just touch, do little circle strokes, and make that squiggly line, then you blend it out any direction there. And there we have our clouds. It's really that easy to do. If you're doing it with the white, with a blue sky, of course you're going to want to wipe some of the paint off, but with the red we don't really need to here. But I just want to show you how to do that. Okay, remember, you hold the brush this way, you smush the corner, you do little circle strokes up and down like this, keep the brush moving, wipe it out, and blend the corners down. And that's it, just blend the higher parts down, and there you have your cloud. It's really pretty easy to do. All right, next thing I'm going to do, and again, Mickey, Kathy, I'm trying to go slow here, but I'm going to take some Indian yellow and a little bit of alizarin crimson. That makes a beautiful orange color. It really does. I think a lot of you that do the Harvest Moon or that moon painting is done with that way, using the alizarin crimson and the Indian yellow, and it gives a very beautiful orange. So I'm going to mix that on my palette. I'm not going to show you that. I'm just mixing the alizarin crimson with the Indian yellow and get it about where I want it. Let's see what color I got. I think I need more yellow. That's pretty good right there, I think. That's pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to come up here with that orange and I'm going to kind of throw that in. Same circle stroke I did with my fan brush. Brushing across here, working some up. Be careful not to get into the purple because it will go what? Green. We don't want green. Okay, so I'm going to work some of this up to red a little bit. All I'm doing is doing that little circle stroke, bringing some down. You know what I didn't do? I didn't add the red to the water. I just realized that. I'll go back and do that. See, we all make mistakes. But I'll come right back to that because I still have the red brush. I grabbed that second fan brush just to do the orange here. So that's what I'm working on now. But I will come back in and we'll do the red. Smush this in. A lot over here on the left side, we have trees and everything here. So a lot of that doesn't matter. But we're just trying to get this pretty color in. So here we go there. Okay, let me go back to the red and add that to the water. So I'm glad I forgot something. We all do it. We all forget stuff. Again, horizontal strokes. Work it down into the purple a little bit, just like it is in the painting there. And again, this is one thing about this, and I always tell my students too, if you want more purple, you want more red, you want more yellow, more orange, do it. Make it your own. Don't copy what I'm doing. Make it more what you want it to be. All right? So you're not just stuck to what I'm doing. heck, you might like something better the way you do it, you know. So there we go with the red down here, very bright. Now I'm going to come back in. I'm going to do the same with the orange again. Grab some of this, put this orange down here. There we go. Now it's working. Looks like a sunset. That's what it's supposed to be. I'm scrubbing with a Kevin Hill fan brush. If you guys haven't used his brushes, they are amazing. They really are. Can't see enough about Kevin's products. They're awesome. He's awesome. Great friend, great guy. Good stuff. All right, I need a little bit more Indian yellow into that, so I have to put it somewhere safe. You ever done that? Lose your paint? Never. If you're at a class with me, I'll steal your brush, steal your paint. Rita, don't say nothing. I think
Sign
I'm
your
taking her
canvas.
brush. Sign your canvas, that's right. I'll do that too. Just trying to mix up some more orange. Bear with me. That'll give you guys a chance to catch up anyway.
Where's Kevin's fan brush?
Getting my fan brush, wiping some of it out. I just like a ton of it in there. And what was the question about a fan brush?
No, Mickey says she loves Kevin's fan brush.
Oh, me too. Oh, that's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. All right, so what kind of color I get? I'm a little too red still. Let me get some more Indian yellow. I tell you what, that Legend Crimson's strong. You take a little bit of it too much, it'll stay red, that's for sure. So I'm going to wipe the brush out. The paint I had, I just kind of wipe it out, grab a little more of the Indian yellow. Work it back into that. Yep, that's going orange again. That's what I want. Yeah, I'll spend a lot of time on my palette here. You know, trying to get the colors you want it to be. That's a little harder orange, but that's okay. We'll throw that in here. Little cloud shapes. Again, that same dragging across, flip that corner, throw it in. It's really pretty easy just to do that kind of a cloud shape. Again, over here doesn't really matter. We just want to make sure we get some color back there. Does that look like the sky? It does. It does to me anyway. Looking good. Sean, way to go, man. I know it.
Judas.
Sorry for that little
Yeah.
humor. My wife's like, really? Really? Anyway, I want to bring that down a little bit more. Swirling that brush is all I'm doing. Blending it up to the red a little bit. Giving it that blended look. Look at that sky. That's what you want right there. That's what you want. That whole blended look. I'm going to bring it down a little bit on this side over here. Bring it across. Make it a little uneven. There we go. I'm going to go back into it. Add it down here as well. And I'm going to start bringing that brighter color across. Same fan brush, just kind of working it in. A lot of this is going to be reflection or shadow, but I still want the color in there. There we go. Again, be careful not to go down to the blue or purple as you're swiping across, because it will go green on us. So now I'm going to take my fan brush. What's
Somebody
that?
doesn't have Indian yellow. They have cad yellow, yellow ochre, and Naples yellow.
I would use, if you use a cad yellow and just a bright red, I would do that. I wouldn't worry with the crimson if you don't have it, or the Indian yellow. You could come up with the orange with the bright red and the yellow. Just very little red. Okay, it's very powerful. So that will work. Anything will do. That'll work. So then again, make it your own. Doesn't have to be that same color. So
Olivia's on.
now I'm going to grab some of the bright yellow. I wiped my brush out. You're not going to get it all out. And I'm going straight into just the bright yellow, okay? Quite a bit of paint here, as you can see, quite a bit. And I'm going to do that same circle stroke with this. Look how bright that is. Wow, that's what you want. And I'm working this down. Same circle stroke. Bring that in. Bring it up into the orange so we don't have the harsh, again, you don't want the separated lines. I picked up a little bit of that orange. I'll need to wipe my brush out here in just a second. I'm going to bring down some yellow over here. Throwing it down. Leaving some of the white areas here. Now I'm just going to throw this in. Bring this all the way down to my horizon here. And I'm going to do the same on the bottom. I'm going to bring this up here. Bring it into the orange, just like we had here. Kathy, am I going too fast? Anybody who's painting, am I going too fast? Can you answer me and let my wife yell at me here? Just let me know. Just let me know. Waiting for the comments here. Again, I'm doing all this with a fan brush. Your fan brush is a great tool. That looks like an awesome sky to me. It really does. It looks really good.
Me too.
Thank you, Helen. Helen said it looked good too, so that's a plus right there. That's awesome. So I'm just wiping my brush out. Again, just trying to get some of the color out of it. Just like that. And you're not going to get it all out. It's still going to be that. I'm going to go back into a little bit more of the yellow, the bright yellow. And I'm going to start working on this just a little bit here. Add a little bit more bright down here. We're going to put a horizon in there in just a minute, because on the original painting, to me, I don't have enough of a horizon. I want a little bit more. And so I'm going to do that in this one. I'm going to add just a little bit. I'm just kind of eliminating some of these white spots. But I want to kind of leave some, because that's really going to help us when we put the white in, of them staying really bright. Okay, again, you don't just want it in the middle of the canvas. We never want anything in the middle of the canvas. Always off to the side. Keep some of this open a little bit. Okay, and do it that way. You all guys know the rules there. Nothing in the center. I'm just going back over, just very lightly blending. I'm going to do the same down here. Just blending, don't go into blue. And I think I'm at a point now that I can take my tape down. Can you read anybody hear me from Mickey? Am I going too fast here? Mickey, can you hear me? Barbara, Kathy, anybody? Can anybody hear me?
Gail said, Sean, you're awesome. Gigi Gail.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Gail. You're awesome. I know I am. You just asked me. She's my girl. She does a sea glass. If you guys haven't taken a class with Gigi down in Crystal River, she is the bomb. She really is. The coolest sea glass art. It's amazing what she does. She and Rob both. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, let's make... I should have put the horizon in before I took my tape off. That's a clue. Glad there's a 15-second delay. Don't take the tape off yet. And let's add a little bit of a horizon, okay?
Kathy Mandelaar says, slow down a tad.
Okay, Kathy, great. I will. I'll slow down just a tad. I'm going to add my horizon. I'm just going to kind of go across here, the top of my tape, the best I can. Just a little bit here and there. Try to keep it somewhat safe. When you look at the original picture, there's only... Can you pan to it just a minute? There's really only this much of the horizon that's going to show anyway. But I wanted it a little bit more distinct in this painting than I did in the other one, okay? So that's why I did that. I just kind of brought it across a little bit. Heck, if it's crooked, that's okay. We'll work with it, all right? So I'm going to go back into a little bit more of the red and the orange. I'm going to add a little bit more color just in here. I like to do what we call a rock your boat stroke. If you ever had a classroom, you know what I'm talking about. It's this, like this, but very small, just like this. So I'm going to take a little bit of the orange, which was the alizarin crimson, or again, if you got a bright red and bright yellow, that'll work. And I'm just going to kind of throw some dark areas in here. Just throw some in. Looks like water. I'm going to work that up here to my horizon. That same kind of rock your boat stroke. I'm staying out of the middle right now, only because I just want to put some color in here. That's all I'm really doing. If you look, again, on the original picture, if you can kind of go back to that real quick, and while everybody's kind of catching up, this takes up a lot of the right side, okay? So this is going to take up some time here. And over here, this comes out like this. This should be a little bit higher, probably almost on your horizon line is where it's going to be. So down below it, it doesn't really matter where the tape was. We're just trying to fill that in with color because it's going to be dark green anyway, okay? So it's really not a big deal. So if you don't get it just right, don't sweat it. It doesn't have to be. I'm going to go ahead back now. I've wiped my brush out. I'm back into the bright yellow now. And I'm just throwing that out. So I'm going to fill in my little tape mark here. There is no liquid clear under that. If there is, that's fine too. But if there's not, that's fine too. It doesn't matter, okay? We just need a little bit of color here so we can just fill it in. That's all we're doing. Filling it in. There we go. All right, that's a whole lot of yellow. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a little bit of that orange mixture, a little bit more to the orange side this time. And I'm just going to kind of throw some color in, just like this. Throw it in, throw it in. Doesn't have to be perfect. That same rocky boat stroke I showed you a minute ago. Remember, it's just highly exaggerated. This is a stroke, but very little, little ones, just like this. Just very little. I saw my screen just went blank on my tablet. Do you guys still have it?
There's no video playing, but mine says live.
Somebody said there's no video playing?
No, on your tab, but mine says it's live still.
Okay, are you guys still there? Can anybody still hear me?
And see you.
'Cause if I had to watch a party, I don't know if they left me. Can anybody see me? Helen, do you see anything? It's totally gone?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
See, it's live there. I mean, it's got a delay, but it's there.
Can anybody chime in here? See what it's saying, like the watch party.
Caroline, yes, they're saying yes, still here.
Still here. Okay, you guys can still see it? I'm sorry, we're having issues on our side where our tablets are going dead like we don't have it there. But if you guys are still seeing it, we're good. So I'm not doing anything right now. Just making sure everybody's still with us.
832 still here, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Kathy, are we caught up? Are we good?
I'm gonna sit down.
Okay, what I'm doing now is I have just wiped out my brush. This one I've been using yellow and orange with. And I'm just kind of grabbing it, squeezing it, trying to get the color out of it. You're not going to get all of it once again, but that's okay. Just try to get the bulk out of it. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into some of the white, okay? And I've got the white on my canvas. I'm just going to pull through it. It's got a little bit of a yellow tint to it, but that's okay. You know, there's a lot of yellow and white up here, so I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to kind of touch and throw some in. A little bit thicker this time. We're leaving some of the paint. Throw that white in. Look at that. Well, it looks good. Now I'll wipe out my brush because it will have picked up quite a bit of the yellow. So again, I'm just wiping my brush out. Are we still good?
Yeah, someone says you're showing live, but your words in the video aren't matching up. There's a pretty big delay.
Well, that stinks.
Huh. That's odd.
That's weird. Okay, guys, but worst case, we'll redo this, and hopefully we'll get everything squared away. This is the first time, so we don't know how it's going to work, but obviously we got a big delay here, so we're going to need to work on that.
Nobody knows why.
Don't know why, but I'm going to grab some more of the white, reload my brush, quite a bit of paint. As you can see, there's quite a bit of paint on here. Even got some red in it. Quite a bit of paint. So I come right up here in the center and I just start do that same swirl stroke. And I'm just adding that white to this, okay? Dragging it across, touching that horizon right there, bring it down to it, gently across. That looks pretty good. That's really bright. Okay, so that's probably where I'm going to stop with that part. But I'm going to bring the bright down to the water. And for that, I'm going to use a palette knife. You could do it with a fan brush, but I just think the palette knife's easier. I think, if you're pretty good with it. The key to the palette knife doing water is horizontally straight. If you ever took a class with me, I tell my students all the time, horizontally straight. And what that means is, no matter what you do, this stays horizontally straight, just like this. Anytime you do a water line, horizontally straight. You don't want this, because that would be a waterfall. That's not what we want. So everything has to be horizontally straight, just like this.
You're saying no delay. Everybody's doing okay.
Good. No delay. Thank goodness. All right, I'm going to grab a little bit of the white now. I don't have a lot, just a little bit. If you guys could see the glare on the knife there. But I'm going to start right here in the center. I'm just going to kind of touch horizontally straight again. Put some in. And bring that down here. Let that shine. Here we go. Look at it coming through already. Look at that. It's not too horizontally straight because the canvas is too far away from me. But that's okay. Mine's a demo anyway, so here we go. Throwing some of this in. Horizontally straight. Once again, bring some of that down and we're good to go. That's it. That's all I want for right now, okay? Here we go. Because I'm going to blend that with a clean brush. I've got a clean 1 inch. I'm just going to gently go across it. Knock it back just a little. And there it is. There's our sunlit water. Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, I hope everybody's caught up. I'm going to slow down just a little second here. What is working?
Yeah.
Okay, talking to my beautiful wife. She said everything's working, so as far as I know. I want a little bit more purple down here. Okay, so I'm going to grab that purple on that dirty fan brush. That's some red on it. What?
Joe said, look at you with your fingers on the blade. Ha ha, looking great.
Oh, I know. Hey, I was doing a water line. You can do that. That's only with snow. Who said that?
Joe, right?
Joe, come on.
Joel, don't you know?
Joe. No, we do that. She knows that. She needs a paintbrush. She's wonderful. But she, yeah, we only do that for water lines. Only don't do it in snow. We're from Florida, so we don't know what to do in the snow anyway. So, what do we know about snow, Joe? She's awesome. You really like meeting her. She's cool. She's pretty cool. All right, I've added some more purple only because I think it's really cool. That's why. No reason. And I'm stalling. Did everybody catch up? Is everybody caught up? Nod your heads. Like I could see you. We're good. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is I am going to take a filbert brush. And if you'll pan to this over here, I am going to show you how to do this island here. Now what it is, we're just going to use a black and a green is what we're going to use on our fan brush. And once we load it, let me go ahead and pour some black and green here. Black and sap green is all I'm using. Black and sap green.
Not on your fan brush.
Not on the fan brush, it's on the filbert brush. And as you see, I've loaded it one side. Yes, this one's wore out. It's one of my favorite Kevin ones. I use it all the time.
I'm sorry, it wasn't on you.
It's kind of wore out, but that's okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to come right up here, just right at the horizon line here. We're just going to tap. I'm not painting anything. All I'm doing is tapping to form that island back there. All I'm doing is tapping. Okay, I want a little bit bigger than that, so I'm going to come over a little bit here. Go up a little bit, vary the heights. You don't want to make fence posts, meaning you don't want them all the same height. You want to drag some up like that, a little bit more even. Throw some up here, some going that way where lights hit them. There we go. And also I'm going to tap that down like the reflection, just like you would a shadow. I'm just pulling down what paint I have. I haven't reloaded because we're going to put some palm trees in here. Then there is my little island. Again, take a look at it. I always encourage my students to take a picture of it because if there's any problems with it, your eye will go directly to where the problem is, and it really does work. It really does. Really does. Really does. So, and I'm just tapping. And there I have my island that quick. Again, it goes to horizon. So my water line's going to be somewhere in here, and I'm going to do that for you in just a second. But that's how you do it. So you just throw your island in, okay? Now mine's smaller than in the original painting. That's okay. It doesn't have to be as big. So I'm just going to wipe the fan brush out, the filbert brush out. And we're going to go ahead and pull our reflection down. Now this is just a dirty 1 inch, or you can use your fan. Let's use your fan brush. It doesn't matter, any of them. Wipe your fan brush out, whatever you got, 1 inch, whatever. And we're just going to pull it straight down, just like we would a reflection. Figure out where your water line is going to be. Pull it down. Vary the heights a little bit. Pull it down a little. There we go. There we go. Vary the heights. Pull it down. Drag it across. Always start from the side. Otherwise, you're going to have a harsh mark right here. So pull from the side. And there is my reflection. Now, I'm not going to put the water line in yet because I've got to draw my palm tree reflection. So I'm going to give you guys just a second to catch up to that. And we're going to go back to a very small brush. I was kind of late adding that, but I wanted to show you about what we do. And she may need to zoom in here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not.
I'm not looking
but I'm gonna put in these palm trees here. Can you zoom to that minute on that?
On the completed one?
Yeah, on the completed one here, just a minute. Okay, what we're gonna do is, I've got a brush, it's this big. You can tell it's really small on the end. And I'm gonna use a little bit of that linseed oil that I have, or thinner, whatever you have, baby oil, doesn't really matter, just to thin the paint, okay? And we're gonna start with the brown, and we're just gonna touch here, and we're just gonna pull it up, just like this. That'll be our trunk, like this. And then while we have it there, we'll go ahead and pull them down, okay? And that way we'll put that up part in. Then we're going to, if you'll keep it here 1 second, we're going to put this top part on. This is really easy to do. If you just take the little brush, again, a little one, you just make like a little L out here, put a couple of fronds in it, a little bend here, pull up, little fronds in it, put a top on it, and like that. So again, these are distant palms. They don't have to be perfect. But if you need to practice them, don't be afraid to do that. You can always practice on your palette or wherever you want to do, but they're really not hard. And again, for the stalk, for the trunk, we're going to use brown. I'm about to do that right now. And I put a little bit of linseed oil here, just a little bit. Linseed oil. I'm twisting my brush in it, just making it mighty thin. And I'm actually going to double load this. The reason being, it makes it really easy to put the palms in at one time. If you will pull through the brown on one side, like this, and I'll flip it over, and I'll pull through the white on this side. Again, you're going to get some brown there, that's okay. Okay, so now I have a double loaded, if you guys can see that, a double loaded brush. I feel like Vanna White. Double loaded. So the light is coming this way. So it will be on the white will be on the inside. So I'm going to turn my brush with the white on the inside. I'm going to touch here. And I'm going to drag it up. There's one. Don't reload. Pull one over here. There's one over here. Whoops. There's, whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Come on, brush. There we go. I'm going to reload only because I couldn't see what it was doing. No more oil. Still thin enough. I'll make a third one right over here, a little bit more of a bend in it, right there. I'm just not touching it, I can't see it. So there we go, a little taller. Now, I'm just gonna mimic it going down. So I'll touch here. There's one, there's two, and there's three, like that. There we go. See, now we have the reflections that match, kinda. They don't have to be perfect, guys. Don't spend a lot of time on that, okay? Sometimes it's easier for a student to, especially when you're doing a large one, to flip their canvas over, because sometimes they have trouble with which way it needs to go. You can always flip the canvas over. So, and again, they don't have to be perfect, you know, they're reflections. So, all right. So I hope everybody has a trunk in. Again, I'm sorry I can't see your comments here. Hey, Warren Thompson's with us. I appreciate you, Warren. I'm back into my brush, my little tiny brush. And this time I'm going to load a little bit of black and green, a little bit more green and black, and I'm just loading it on that little brush. That's all I'm doing. So I'm spinning it, again, getting it to where it's very thin. Again, very thin. Brushes this small are really easier to use than the liner brush, only because they're not as long. They're a little bit easier to control. So I found these, I got them on Amazon. They work good, work pretty good. So. All right, anyway, so I'm just going to kind of put my finger here, and I'm going to touch right here and just touch. There's my top of my L, pull it in. Another L here, pull it in. There we go, good. And that one's ready for some fronds. So you see that part. So then all you're going to do is come in here, barely touch, pull down, pull down. This one's a little too green, that's okay. And then I'm going to put a top on it up here, just like this. And there we have a palm tree. I do want that a little darker, so I'll add a little bit more black to it. But that's the gist of it. Again, these are in the distance, so they don't have to be perfect, okay? Don't spend a lot of time on them. You perfectionist artists, don't spend a lot of time on these. Don't need to. Farther out, adding a little bit more black to it. I think I better leave well enough alone with this green one here. So anyway, go down here. There we go. There we go. There's a palm. Now I'm going to pull a little bit more black into this one. So I've got it here. A little bit of green. Same thing, I will pull a little bit of linseed oil, again, just to thin it. As you can see, I've got my brush to that chiseled point. That's kind of what you want. So I'll do the same thing, put my finger over here, and I will just kind of touch here, touch. Then, same shape kind of thing. Oh, there's a big one, that's okay. I'm going to pull some of this down. It's a palm tree. And put some top on it. Looks like a palm tree, so we're heading in the right direction here. Same thing, do your third one. Is everybody getting this? Do I need to stop or explain anything any better that I'm doing? Any thoughts on anything I'm doing here? You guys awake? Nobody's
Busy
talking?
painting.
Busy painting, I'm sure that's it. Or they've all hung up and going
Sheila
on with their
Rollins
lives.
is watching.
Who?
Sheila? Sheila Rollins.
Hey Sheila. And I'm doing this again, dragging across like this, like this. Oh, look at that palm, that's a cool one. Put the top in first. You know who does a great palm tree is Helen. If you ever get a chance to see Helen's palm trees, you can really get a need to help me do them, I think. So, all right, there's a palm tree. We should have 3 palm trees there. All right. Now what we need to do, and I'm not going to go too fast here, I'm going to go through a little bit of the black, and I'm going to hide the trunk here where it's not just stuck up somewhere. All I'm going to do is tapping to make sure it's where it needs to be. So it's behind. That's it. I'm good. Now I have to do the reflection in the bottom. Now again, I am not going to spend a lot of time on that because it is a reflection. It's not going to match. It's distorted. It's, you know, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. So I'm just going to kind of reach over here, kind of the same thing. One here, one like this, one there. There's a top. That's good. And I'll add a little to it. Good. Same here. I am shorter, so it needs to be here. Whoops. There we go. There's a palm tree, like that, a little bit bigger maybe. Hope everybody's seeing that. Back in a little bit more of the black, twist it, twist your brush. You'll find you'll get a favorite brush for this, and they sure work, and stick with it, because the more you practice that, the better we'll get. So again, I've got another one down here. This one's a little bit taller, so I'm going to throw it down here. There we go. Kind of hard to paint upside down, but you can do it. You can do it. There we go. There's our palm trees. We have our reflections match for the most part. Be sure and clean your brush out. We don't want them to dry on this, especially when it don't have any things in them. And we're there. So I'll give you guys a chance to catch up to that. And while I talk about putting in the water line, I want to actually distort those palms a little bit. So I'm back to my dirty fan, just a dirty fan brush. It's easier to use. And I'm going to pull down again, right from where my water line is. Just pull down, distort that pine, or pine the palm. Just distort it. You have to push a little bit harder if it doesn't. Start from the side, drag it across. There we go, there we go, there we go. That's what we want. Now I take my waterline paint, and I think you guys remember it takes a very, very, very small amount of paint to do a waterline. You don't want it too thick. So I'm going to spend just a minute here getting my palette right, where I can get just a little bit. Can you guys even see the paint on that? I doubt it. It's a tiny amount because I'm only going to go in here. And yes, my fingers are on the blade. They are going to be. But remember, everything has to stay horizontally straight. So I definitely don't want to do a waterline like this or like this. And I don't want staples. You've heard me say in class before, staples means one here, like this. We don't do that, okay? So What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna touch here. I'm gonna go right here to the edge. I'm gonna touch it. I'm horizontally straight, and I got my paint, and I just slide it. I drop down a little bit, slide, slide. And I actually didn't have enough paint, so I skimped. That's better. A little bit more paint so you guys can see it. And slide, slide. There it is. There's our water line. And I'm also gonna put some down here where the trunks are, because I want some water to show there. So I'm just going to slide it across. Remember the horizontally straight. All I'm doing is sliding some water across there. Whoops, that wasn't straight. And slide it across. So there we go. There's our horizontally straight water for the most part. All right. We are good, and we're ready to move to the next portion. As I look at this is a little short, so I'm going to take my filbert and add just a little bit more black to that, and just make a couple more high spots in it. That's all. A couple of little high spots. Look at the original. A couple of them had that a little bit higher. I'm just going to tap some in. Lighter over here where the sun's hitting it. There we go. That's better. Here, I like that better. I'm going to put a little bit down here, pull it down, whatever. There we go. A little in here, brush it across. Yep, still using my filbert. It still works. There it is. That's all you want. Okay? That's all you want. That's all you want. Okay? Now, let's take and do our island on the left. Is everybody caught up? Can you guys comment here? Let me know how you're doing. Do I need to go slow or slow down? Are you guys okay? Any comments? Anybody still with me?
People.
Awesome. All right. I just took a big swig of Pepsi here, so I'm ready now. All right, we're going to go back into and
Thank you to Mickey.
Say what?
Thank you to Mickey.
Oh, thank you, Mickey.
He says it's looking really nice.
That's a she. But thank you, Mickey.
Yeah.
Mickey Vito, she's amazing floral pan. Oh, she's so good. Portrait, she does everything. Can you pan to the original? Okay, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to do this on the left side right in here, okay? This is what we're doing. Do note the negative space up in here. You want to leave some of that. You don't want it just so totally blocked out, but you do want it dark enough that you're not seeing through it in here. So for this, I'm just going to go back to my dirty 1-inch brush, and I'm going to pull through the straight black, just black. And a little bit of that sap green. Black and sap green is what I'm using here. Black and sap green. You want it more black than green, okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I've pulled it through, let me show you how I'm loading this. I'm pulling it through just like this. Black and then the greens over here. And you know, I've got it kind of, brush is kind of rounded off like that. There's a lot of paint on there. Okay, you can see it kind of rounded. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start tapping. Again, I'm not painting here. I'm just tapping. I'm going to go up the left side. And I'm going to start bringing some branches over here, wherever you want them. I tap. I'm not reloading yet. Okay, I want to come down about there with it. So have it about here. I want to come out about like that. So I'm just going to start tapping in here. I may have to reload because it's getting a little too light here. But I'm just going to keep tapping there. That's looking pretty good, but I want it darker. So once again, I'm not even going to wipe my brush out. Just go right back into the black. A little bit of the green, definitely more black than green. Pull it through. Again, I've got quite a bit of paint on there, okay? Quite a bit. So I'm just going to tap again, darkening it up. That's what I want. It's getting darker. Bring some up over here like this. Make those branches come up. Kind of hard. I haven't taken a look back from it yet, but I guess it's looking okay. I really don't know. I haven't backing away from it. I definitely encourage you guys to get away from your painting a little bit. I haven't done that, so I hope it's looking okay. But it's good to do that. It kind of separates you from it. So I'm just going to throw some here. More, I'm just tapping again. I'm not doing anything but tapping. Throw some a little higher. There we go. That's looking like I want it to. There we go. Leaving that negative space there. That's pretty good, I think. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a little lighter than the other one. I think it looks okay. Now, before I do anything else with it, I'm going to bring my reflection down. I just kind of reloaded, not quite as much paint, but I'm going to reload it down, and I'm just going to kind of tap in the basic shape here, what the reflection would look like. Basic shape, not perfect. This is where you can adjust your water line. If you want to lift it up, you can, but I want to keep it kind of low here. So just throw it in like this. There we go. And that is what we want. Now I'm not going to pull it down yet because I want to go ahead and put in the tree trunks that we have, as you saw in the original. And I think what I would like to do, and I think they'll make it easier for you guys to see, is instead of making them the brown that you see here, I'm going to add some as white. I'm going to add some white to it, and let's kind of take a look and see how it does and see if that works for us. So I'm going to go through some linseed oil. Once again, I want it pretty thin. So I'm going to put a couple of drops right here by my white. Got it there. Pull through my white. Pull that linseed oil. Twist your brush. Get it good and full. Good and full there. Twisting it so it's good and thin. You want this to be a thin paint. Okay. And again, there's really not, if you go in here and you just kind of keep tapping here, there's not a whole lot of paint on there. You're kind of tapping it in and picking a lot of it off, which is kind of what you want. You don't want big clumps of it, but you want enough there that it does show up. So again, I am changing this, and then I'm going to go with a white tree trunk. If I don't like the look, I'll change it back. But let's go ahead and throw one in and see how it does. So I'm just going to kind of touch here, drag up. Okay, there's one. There's two there. That's good. One here. Like this. I know you guys can see these because I can see them. That's good. And pull this up. So a lot of this is covered up. Don't panic. Don't panic. Okay, there's just some white in that side this time instead of the brown. Now let's see how that looks here in just a minute. So okay, I'm gonna leave it just like that. So I think you guys can see that better than you could have seen the other side. So once again, I wipe my liner brush out. I don't like to leave paint in there at all. So I'm gonna kind of wipe that out, get it pretty clean. And I'll set that aside for just a second. Now, anytime you do this, if you've got some areas in the trunk here that you don't like, you can actually take your dirty brush, take a little bit more paint, and you can just kind of set some back. You see what I'm saying? Just kind of tap it and set some of those back, just like this, right around the base here. And you can, if you don't like a part of it, just knock it back, put some leaves over it, and there we go. And this gives the indication that there is some leaves on top of that, okay? Where they're just not starting and stopping from nowhere, that you have it like that. So, but I'm happy with that. I think that'll be okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my dirty fan brush, and I am going to pull through the reflection here. If we got our water line, we'll pull straight down. There we go. There we go. Just like this. Push it across. There we go. There's our reflection. You can even take, you go back to your liner brush. I should have done a little bit before. Throw a little bit of the white color in there, just where some of the trunks are. Throw a little bit in. Just a little color. You don't need much. Little color, little white in here where it was showing in the other one. So there it is. And I'll just pull it down. So it looks bad like that. Just like this, just give you indication. Brush it across. There we go. It just gives you indication. We can see just a little bit of the trunks there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to take, if you go back to the original painting just 1 minute, we need to add the highlight to the top of that tree. Now, it's important not to over highlight. For this step, I use the world's best, cheapest chip brush I can find. I think you buy a whole box of like 50 or 80 for $6 somewhere, you know, really cheap. And they do really good for this, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up my palette. I've got the permanent green light, or permanent light green is here. And I pull through, I get a decent amount of paint. I want a decent amount. I'm kind of tapping into it. And it just kind of clogs this brush up like that. That's kind of what you want. Or it just kind of clogs it like this. Okay? Tap it, tap it. There we go. Lots of paint. Lots of hair sticking out. But that's okay. They're cheap. So I'm going to go to the very tops up here. And I'm going to add a little bit of color. Now again, be careful not to overdo this. Because if you overdo it, you're not going to like it. So right at the very top, I just tap a little bit. Tap a little bit over here. Okay. Now I'm going to wipe it off. Because I see it didn't really pick up that much paint. But I do want to wipe it off anyway. And go ahead and go through some more paint. And I'm just tapping. Again, I didn't hold it up this time, but I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just tapping into it. And you want a lot of paint, just like this. And I'm going to come out here, drop some down here. And wipe it off, do the same thing again. And I'm going to come back into them, add a little bit down lower. Just down here in the middle, just a little bit, where little light will be catching it. There we go. Wipe it off, come back down here, put some down here. Oh, that looks good. Very good. Good and bright. That's good. And I don't have too much, but I've got enough that you can see the variances in the trees there. I like it. And I'm also going to throw some down here in the water. And this way, when we pull our reflections out, you will have the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe out my little cheap brush here, the chip brush. I'm wiping the green out of it. You're not going to get all of it. As you always hear me say, you're not going to get all of it. But I'm going to go ahead and touch here. I'm going to pull straight down. I'm just blurring this out. Blurring out that color. There it is. Look how bright that is. And drag it across. And once again, there's our reflection. Now again, I'm still not going to put the water lines in yet, although we're really close to that. But we have got to put our palm tree in. If everybody's ready, or I can wait just a second, I can give you a second to catch up. You guys let me know. My wife's reading the text here. Hopefully, if you guys need me to speed up or slow down, I can do it. So just let me know. And I'll wait just a second here to hear from you. Anybody there?
Busy painting.
Busy painting. That's okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. It's looking good. I think I'm happy with it so far. I definitely encourage you at this point to take a picture of your painting because we're about to stick a big palm tree in here. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second, and the brush that we're going to use for that. This brush, as Chris Kelly will tell you, guy I work with, is a number 6 angle brush. This thing is amazing. You get an artist's loft actually, but when loaded correctly, it is great for palms, it's great for grass, it's great for a lot of different things. It's kind of a little bit harder synthetic, but when you load it, you pull like this, both sides, and it will come to a very chiseled point. Okay, very chiseled point. And I found with my students, this is a good way for them to do a tree. They used to use a filbert brush, but I found this one here works very well to do the trees. So what I'm going to do is...
They don't have that brush.
If you don't have this brush, a filbert brush will work, or a fan brush will work. Anything that you're commonly used to using will work. I just like this number 6 angle brush, but again, a filbert brush will work great, a fan brush, heck, any kind of brush you want to use, a liner brush if you have to. It will all work. It will all work. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my angle brush and I'm going to pull through some of the dark brown, dark sienna. I'm sorry, Van Dyke brown, VDB, Van Dyke brown. And I'm going to flip my brush over with some dark sienna and some white. Dark sienna and white. It's actually burnt sienna, only because I didn't have any dark sienna. So I'm double loading my brush. So I have dark on one side and light on the other side. And I just realized I loaded my brush on the wrong side. So I need to wipe that out. You need to look at your palm. See, the white will be on this side, but with the angle brush, you always need to pull it up, so the tip would have to be down. So the light would be on the right side of this, not the left. So quick and easy fix. Glad I caught it now, not later. But I'll just wipe that off and I will reload it this time a little different on the opposite side this time. So it needs to be this way. Brown and white on one side. Let me grab a little bit of that. And the darker brown on the opposite side. So this is kind of what I have. I have a angle brush that's light and dark, just like this. The reason is when we do our palm, we come out of here, it will already have the indication of a light on the right side, hopefully. And if it doesn't, we can add it. So it's not a big deal if it doesn't. But this is kind of where you decide where you want your palm tree. Do you want it come out how much farther? It's up to you, really. But I'm going to go pretty well like I did on the original one. I'm just going to touch here, and I'm going to pull up like this and put it right about there. That's good. Of course, that's not fat enough, so I'll just continue to work on it until I get it at the thickness that I want it to be. Note you can already see the light on that one side. So I'm going to load a little bit more dark on the other side now as I go back over and make it just a little bit fatter. Now again, be careful not to make sequoia palms. If you want a sequoia palm, make one. It doesn't matter, okay? Your choice. Make sure it's strong enough to hold the top of it. So I stress to my students, make sure it's big enough. There we go. Okay, good. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys, so don't sweat it. I'm going to do my reflection. And this is where, again, it's sometimes easier to flip your brush over, or flip your canvas over, but I think we got it. Like that, but I'm going to have to reload it different because the light would be on this side. So got to reload my brush, put it where I originally had it, the lighter on one side, which would be on the right side of the brush now because the tip will be being pulled down, and then the darker on the other side. So that's what I've got. I've got the double loaded brush again, the angle brush, and I figure out my reflection is going to be right about from here. It's going to come out, going to come down. That's pretty sharp. There it is. I'll take it where it's not quite so sharp. There we go. That's about close enough. Close enough. Close enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now all this is hidden down here anyway, so I'm not really going to sweat it. So what I can do now is, where I have it here coming in, I can actually tap that with my filbert brush, get a little bit more of the black and the green, and just kind of tap here, make it where it's hidden. Hide these trunks down here at the bottom. There we go. Come up just a little bit. There. Now you can't see where it starts or stops there. And I will put in my water line. Again, you guys know how to do that. I just grab the knife, slide it across. Remember, horizontally straight here. Horizontally straight. So I'll touch here, slide, finger on the blade. Horizontally straight. Joe, finger on the blade, Joe. And slide it across. There we go. Okay. I do want to blur out the tree a little bit. So I've got this dirty 1 inch. I'm just going to pull straight down. Whoops, right through the green. Apparently that's fine. Run it down like this. Brush it down a little bit. Pull the whole reflection down. Brush it across. Remember to start on the side. Brush it across. Brush it across. There we go. Now it's kind of blurred, and that's what I want. Okay. So again, if I need to have more water lines now, I can. I'm going to slide back in here. Let's put some down here. Again, horizontally straight. Don't do staples. Horizontally straight. Never do staples, man. When I say staples, I'm saying this. Don't do this, okay? People often do that. Don't do that. No staples. If you remember anything from this video, don't do staples in water. They don't look right, okay? Don't do it. Fight the staple, man. You can do it. All right, so I'm reloading my brush, put a couple more water lines in here, horizontally straight. Again, I'm at a really bad angle here trying to paint this. So if they're not really horizontally straight, that's okay. They should be, but if they're not, whatever, we'll deal with it. Okay, and just throw some in. Scratch your canvas a little bit there. Looks okay. We can always add more. All right. I'm hoping everybody is with us still. I can see I'm doing the staples. I'm seeing where we're at here. So I think we're doing okay. So let's go ahead and put the top on. For the top of the palm tree, I'm going to drag through a little bit of the brown, the darker brown, and a little bit of black. Brown and black, kind of a dark color here. And if you'll pan to the original painting just 1 second, the part we're doing is right here. In Florida, this is, I believe, what they call cabbage palm. So, and what they have is they have these lines like this where these fronds come out of, okay? So that's what we need to put in. So I need to leave myself some room at the top, so I'm probably going to start these about here, and I'm just going to touch and pull, just like this, both sides. There it is. Does not have to be perfect. They certainly are not perfect in the real world, but that's kind of what you want right there. And again, a lot of that, I'm not going to spend a lot of time highlighting or shadows or anything, because a lot of that you don't see. In other words, when the fronds come over it, you're probably not going to see it anyway, okay? So but that's how you do that part. Again, using the angle brush is great for this. Again, it always goes away from you. If you do it up, it's the point is down. If you pull down, the point's up. I find it easier just to touch and pull like this for this one. So that's kind of easy there. All right. Now to do this frond, you got to decide here, and looking at the original painting, as I really look at it, I think the tree's a little too big. I think this part's really a little too big. So probably what I'm going to do is to shrink it down just a little bit, but you do whatever you want to do. Again, you're painting, guys. But I'm going to make it just a little bit less, maybe not come down quite as far, but that's what I'm going to do now. So to do the fronds here, we're going to go through some black, quite a bit of black, and I'm going to move some green over to the black. So I want these to be kind of dark. We're going to highlight over them. But I don't want them see-through green. I don't want that, okay? So I've got the black and green, mostly black. And again, I am loading this brush. I've got a hair on it here. Pull it off of there. All right. And I'm going to load it just like this. The reason I do it this way is, like I said before, it gets you to that very chiseled point. Because you don't want it fat here, because when you pull the frond out, you want it to be thin like the frond would be. So I'm loading it just like this, decent amount of paint. You'll spend as much time right here as you will on your canvas. Okay, actually you'll spend more time right here. All right, so there that is. Losing another hair. All right, so I've got it loaded. So I'm going to figure out now where I want my frond. And it's okay to do it this way. We're just going to kind of draw a line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. Okay, well, let's start working on those 4. Then we'll see how many more we need. I am right back to my palette. I am working on it just like we did. Spending my time right here. Getting it to that very chiseled edge. You want it very sharp edge, just like that. And the way these palms work, if you go back to the original here real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to do this part right here. Okay, and the way that is done is, I'm not going to paint my original painting again, but with the brush upside down, so the tip is up, you touch from the frond part, just like that, and you just kind of pull like a broom. Keep pulling like this all the way across until you make a broom shape at the bottom of it. I think that's the best way to describe it to you. Okay, note the size difference in the 2 trees. I'm going smaller with this one. I think that one's a little bit too big, so I don't know. We'll talk about it later, but for this one it is. So I've loaded up the brush. It's very chiseled edge, so it's very thin. I come back about halfway. I touch, I pull. And there is my first frond. Okay, That's all there is to it. I can see there's a lot of green in there, so I do want a little bit more black. The biggest mistake that I see students make in class is they are not full enough. And let me show you what I mean by that and what they do. And then I'll show you how to fix it if you teach this for a class. What they do is, and I'm going to pull back this way only because I'm at a bad angle here. So where they come here, they'll do like this. They'll have it like that, okay? To me, it needs a lot more thickness to it to look like the real palm. Are some of them that way? Probably yes, absolutely. I mean, goodness gracious, their trees are all different. But to fix that, all you're going to do is go back over it, pull them in. You see the difference? You see how much better that looks? Like that when it's more full, it really makes a big difference. So I'm going to go back into some of the black now. Again, I want these really dark. I don't want them too light. Now, I'm trying to go slow, Mickey. Hopefully you're with me here.
But it's not just Mickey.
Not just Mickey,
I
good.
bet not.
Oh, well, I hope. Oh, not Mickey. I'm sorry. I was thinking Kathy's painting. I don't know if Mickey's painting or not. But anyway, I spent time on my brush and got it very chiseled edge. I keep saying that, guys. It's so important when you use this brush, get it to that chiseled edge. So important. It works fantastic. So I'm just going to come up here. I'm going to make this one. Pulling it back just like this. Running into the other one there. That's good. There we go. Okay, there's the second one. Into more black paint. Again, I want it darker. You know, anytime you use the black here, you want to keep it dark because we're going to highlight over. Again, it looks like I'm using a lot of paint, but I'm really not. I'm really pushing a lot of it off. So I'm really not, there's not a whole lot of paint on there. It just kind of looks like it. And hopefully the glare is not too bad on this. Are you guys able to see the palm tree pretty good? I hope you are. I think you are. I see it in the picture over there. It looks like it is. So I'm going to come up here. Again, brush, holding it this way. I'm going to start pulling here and pulling these up. See, it's still really green. But that's okay. Pull it down like this. Leave that negative space in there is fine. That's looking like a palm tree. All right. I'm going in straight black this time because I definitely want it black. And I'm going to come up in here and I'm just going to kind of pull from here. And I'm just kind of pulling up just like this. Negative space is not a bad thing here. You can leave some, not too much, otherwise it's not going to look right. And I'm just going over it. Again, the tip is down as I pull away. Like that. All right, I'm running out of paint here. That's okay. That's good. I think I like this palm better. Do you think this palm look better? Okay. I think it does. I think it looks a little better than the other one. It's not quite as big. So I'm just going through straight black right now. I'm going to make some a little bit darker in here. There we go. There's some darker. Pulling this up. Bring some over. That's looking like a good palm tree right there. Okay. Again, in real life, the palms do come down. They come all different ways. But if this one, I'm just going to leave it up like that so we can see our pretty sky. Again, there's so many palms you can do. The banana palm, you pull it out, use a fan brush to do it that way. There's so many different palms. Just this one is the cabbage palm. And that's kind of what we want here is that. So, all right, I'm going to go back into a little bit more of the green this time. Only because I want to give a little bit more color to it. So there's more green, as you can see it. Hopefully you can. I'm pulling up more green here. I can definitely see the green. Hopefully you can. There we go. And I'll wipe my brush out now. And I'm going to get the bulk of the paint out of it. And again, I'll show you what I end up with here. I get the bulk of the paint out of it, and I'm going to go through some of that brighter green that we did before to give just a little indication of highlight for the palm. So again, I'm back into that bright green. I'm just pulling through like this, loading it the same way, straight down, chiseled edge, very important. Pull it down like this, and I'm going to pull some of these up in here. There you go. Look at the light hitting those. That's what you want. Put some down here. This side a little bit. Again, don't overdo here, guys. I just wiped it out. I'm going to do it again. Do not overdo the highlight. Okay, and this is kind of a shadow almost. Almost. See a little color, but not too much, okay? So we'll go a couple in here. A couple down in here. You're going to pick up the other color. That's okay. I see just a little bit of highlight in there. I want a little bit more. I'm going to put some on the fronds this time. Just a little bit out here. Again, I'm pulling the way the fronds go. There we go. Little bits here and there. Good, like that. And I think I'm done with the top portion of that. I need to work a little bit on the trunk here, but I will let you guys catch up there just a second, and I'm just gonna add a little bit more highlight here. Are there any questions? Do you guys have any questions? Anything I can answer for you? I know there's a delay, but is there anything I can answer while you guys are catching up? All right, no questions. That's good. You guys still with me, right? Hope so. All right. I think we're still good, are we? Excellent, guys. We're still moving forward. Let's go ahead and work a little bit on the palm. I'm going to take my angle brush again. Again, it's good for this as well. Wiped out a lot of the green. I'm going to go with just the brown this time, the dark brown. I'm going to put on both sides of my fan brush. And I'm just going to touch and do a little pull. Touch and pull, touch and pull. To give, you know, when you see palm trees, they generally have that, it's kind of more of a grayish color, but again, this is kind of dark. So I'm just kind of adding a little bit. If you go too fat, that's okay. Make it fat or whatever. There we go. Just make sure it centers up on the thing up here is what matters. Now I got a big old sequoia palm, which I didn't want. That's okay. Heck, it's practice. All right, where I get that, I just touch and pull across now. Just like that. Make it dark on the one side. And I'll go back into some of the white. Even a touch of the yellow.
Yeah, I missed that. Right.
What's that?
Just missed the white and the yellow.
A little bit of white and yellow here just to put a little bit more highlight. I'm just going to kind of touch that edge of the tree there. Pick up the brown pretty quick, but that's okay. Using that angle brush to put my paint down. Now I'm just going to kind of pull it over. There we go. There we go. Just like there's a little bit more. Make my selection a little bit thicker here. Selection doesn't matter anyway. I think we're good. Again, guys, I made mine a little thick, but that's okay. It's practice. Hell, heck, don't matter. Sorry, cursed. First time. Wonder. All right, there we have our palm. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to eliminate my staples. I'm just going to knock these down. I just did that as a demo here. But we're going to go ahead and finish the bottom portion here. And that's done with that same dirty 1-inch brush. You load it the exact same way as we did before. Pull it just like that. I have a lot of paint on there. And all I'm going to do is tap. I'm just tapping here. I like the purple, so I'm going to let a lot of the purple show. Again, I got white in mine. You guys probably don't, hopefully. But I was showing you the staple stuff, so that's a learning moment. That's okay. We can do it. I'm just tapping this, making the very varied shapes, nothing too straight. And then I'm going to show you once again how to use this angle brush. I'm going to grab some of the purple, some of the blue, doesn't matter, just kind of use up some of the leftover paint here. And I'm just tapping. I do want to leave the purple. I like the purple, so I'm going to leave a little bit of it in there where you can see it. That's probably pretty good. All I'm doing is tapping. I'm just tapping with that one corner again. That's all I'm doing. And give the indication that you have grass and leaves, whatever you have down here, whatever. So there that is. And maybe a little higher over here. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to go right back to that angle brush again. And I'm going to load it with some green. A little bit of yellow, green, whatever you want. Just try to use up some of these colors. And I'm going to kind of do the palm frond shape, but I'm just going to kind of pull up here like the fronds are. Make some of the grass, just pull some up like this, fronds, whatever this may be. I'm holding the brush upside down. Again, I'm pulling it away from me, so tip's going the opposite way. Always, tip's always away from you, away from what you're pulling. There we have that one. I can come back in some of the brighter green. Let's add some of that. Again, guys, this is your choice. This is whatever you want it to be. Light green, dark green, doesn't matter. Blue, brown. Throw it in, quick and easy. Vary the lengths. You don't want everything all the same. That's one mistake we all tend to do. We have everything the same length. We don't want that. We want to vary it. Now there is a lot of paint here. You can always kind of wipe some of it off if you have trouble with it going muddy real quick. You can wipe your brush out and just tap it with a dry brush, and this can lift up some of the paint where it's not quite so much paint there. A little tidbit there. You brush it, but again, you don't want to leave the brush mark. There we go. There we've got that. You can wipe it off if you need to, but we shouldn't have to. But if you need to, wipe it off. Heck, wipe it off. So again, I've got the brush upside down now. I just take and pull. There's a bright one. There we go. See, don't make them all straight either. You don't ever want them all straight. Throw them up there. Using the paint that's down here. Bend that thing. You see how quickly I'm doing this for the tip? The lighter you do it, the thinner they're going to be. That's a great thing with this brush. Again, I love it. I think it's better than a liner brush for doing grass anymore. At least, you know, some of the close-up stuff. But I'm just going to kind of throw some in here. Hide the bottom of that tree there. There we go. And wherever you want these, just throw them in. Throw them in. We can do some purple ones. We can do whatever. Wipe your brush out. Just grab some of the purple. See if it's going to show up here. Add a little bit of white to it. Let's see what it does. That's cool. A little bit of white and purple. Pull some of those up here. Look at that. Little purple ones. That's good. Anything you want. Just bring a little color into this thing. Purple ones. There you go. Guys, we're almost done here. I just got to do some birds, and that's about it. Grab a little bit more of the white. A little bit more of the purple. Let's put some more on the other side. A little bit brighter this time. Throw some right here. There's some purple ones right there. Dragging them in. This way, there we go. Kind of hiding it at the base. Oh man, I'm just doing this really quickly, guys. No hurry. But I'm just doing it quick so I can show you guys or help you. Hopefully you guys are following along. Hopefully it's working. And there I've got my completed undergrowth there. Again, you can go as bright with that as you wanted to. If you want more bright color, add it. Seriously. I mean, here I can come back in with some just yellow and green and throw some in here. There we go. There's some yellow ones. Let's get some orange ones, red ones, whatever you want. Let's throw it in. You keep mixing, it's going to go brown. You know that, but let's throw some in. There's some red ones. Already starting to go brown on me. So, a couple purple ones, a couple green ones. Just throw them in there. Ooh, that's a pretty purple. Pretty purple. Let's make a blue one. Let's do something blue here. Blue and white. Get that pretty color going. There you go. Put that color in there. There's some blue. Look at that. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. Just throw the color in there. Set off this picture. Okay? So, if you don't like that, my wife made a face. Don't overdo it. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to stall here. Anyway, there's your grass. Any multicolored grass or whatever color you want it to be. Or you could just use green if that's what you so choose. You should see the look my wife gave. Let me make some of these green. Cover over the blue ones here. Okay? Anyway, there we go.
Sorry. That's all right.
Helen's back. Hey, Helen.
Hey.
How's it going? We're having a great time here. Almost done. And what do you think?
I need birds.
Looks good.
I think we need birds. So let's put some birds in. For birds, we're going to take our liner brush in the linseed oil. I'm going to put a little bit more on my canvas here. And I double load for birds. I use white and black. I always put the white on the top, so I'll take my brush, I'll put through the black first, pull through the linseed oil, keep it very thin, pull through the white, clean white.
It's on the opposite side of the brush, or?
I will have white on one side, black on the other side, like this. I actually want a little bit more white. I kind of contaminated it when I was making all that bluegrass. I was told I shouldn't have done, but that's okay.
Sorry.
So I'll pull through some brighter white here. Still going gray on me, but that's okay. There we got a little brighter white. Still don't like it, so let me wipe it out. Do it again. If you don't get the color you want, guys, just wipe it out. Wipe it back out. Let's start over. Let's go through some linseed oil. Twist your brush, get it good and thin. Wipe a little bit of it off. Let's go through the white first this time. Black on the other side. There we go. We're ready. All right, so I've got my brush double loaded, as you can see, black and white. I want the white at the top, so I'm gonna put one maybe here. So I'm just gonna touch. There's one. I'll reload with some white. Now, I don't know if you guys do it, but I have a bad habit of making them all go the exact same way or same angle. So I'm thinking about that now to try to change it. I'm going to put one up here. It's kind of turning, so I'm just go this way. Now they're not the same. I'm happy. And I will reload the white on the last part. I think I have enough black. Put in the 3 birds. You always have 3 or 1, or you don't ever have a, I don't know why that is. Why is that, Helen?
Never have an even number of birds.
Why
It's
though?
odd.
Why? You never seen 2 birds? I've seen 2 birds. Helen?
It's a rule.
I don't know, I'd call it feng shui.
Call it a who?
A feng shui.
Feng shui. What the heck is that?
Oh, honey.
I don't know what that is. Honey.
That's a
We'll
balance.
talk.
I'm old
It's
redneck,
it's
man.
a
I don't know what it is.
It's a balance when you look
A
at something.
balance. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna do a freeway here or something. Whatever
Feng
she said.
shui, honey.
And I'm gonna put one right over here. I'm looking at the parallelogram of the opposite.
Oh,
obtuse.
stop it.
Sorry. I'm gonna put a bird in. Okay, 3rd bird. Ready? Look at that one turning. It's more white. I love it.
Very nice.
Add some white here.
Oh, there he goes in the grass again.
I'm out of the grass. I stopped. And guys, we have completed our painting today. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love your feedback. I'm sorry for the delays we had. But again, I'll gladly do more of these. If you like them, we'll figure out a better way to film them. And the last thing I do is, this is a paint removal tool, which is incredible for signing your painting. And you take, and anywhere you want to do it, you just sign your name, and I'm going to sign it right here. Last one. And we are done. So again, I will hang out. If you have any questions or feedback, guys, I would love to hear from you. Message me, let me know what you thought, what I could do different. What we could do to make better. Am I going too fast? Whatever. Please give me feedback so I know whether you guys even want me to do this anymore. Okay, so let me know. I love you guys. You're all awesome. God bless. And I will talk to all of you soon. Thank you. Bye.